So this weekend I'm out here with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and the Action 5 Pro to see if it can keep up with the likes of an FX3 or even like a ZV-E1 Sony camera and get really good quality shots that tell a story. But this journey didn't start here. Before I left, I wanted to plan this one out a bit more, and I've been trying to focus on storytelling, not just random cinematic shots. So to do this, I've been watching hours of content from YouTube videos, movies, Instagram reels, and so on, just to try and help me understand what makes a good visual storytelling video. And I think I've worked this out. So I wrote down 5 key shots I need to get to make this trip feel like a movie. And you'll get to see what they are as I go, plus how I filmed them. So if you're new here, my name's David, and I've been doing videography professionally for about 3 years now. And this whole channel's purpose is about learning filmmaking by actually getting out there and doing it. So if you want to come along for that journey where I'll go out there, try these new techniques and tricks, and then pass on those learnings to you guys, then hit subscribe and follow along on this journey. Due to how this campsite is set up, I can only arrive after 1 PM, but I'm hoping I can get all 5 shots still before we lose light for the day. But we'll just have to see. Now it's a 2-hour drive to camp, so I better get started. Well, we made it. We're at the campground. This is going to be where we're going to be staying. Brought the little dog with me. But yeah, so we're going to try and get a shot now. So I'm going to hop out of the car and sort of work out how I'm going to get my first shot. Now, the first key shot that I've got planned for this is a wide angle entrance shot. But I'm going to try and work out what's going to be the best way to frame the car coming into the space, basically, and then you'll be able to see the view as well. It's probably an angle from this side, and the car sort of drives into frame. We'll see how we go with this first shot. We'll get it set up, and then I'll show you my process on what I'm going to do to set up that angle and get that sort of shot done with, I'm going to use the Osmo Pocket 3, I think, for this shot. So yeah, we'll see how we go. So for this shot, I'm going to have to get an ND filter. So that's really important. I have a set of freewell NDs, so I'm going to probably use a 64 just to sort of help cut down that sort of light. Yep. It is looking pretty good on the screen right now. All right, so I've got the mini tripod. We're going to go see what the angle looks like. If it's too low, I might have to get the other tripod, my normal camera tripod. Important things to get right. So I've got my manual exposure set. I'm doing 24 frames, 1/50. For the Pocket, I find trying to get a target of -0.3 on your exposure meter is good. That way it doesn't blow out the highlights, because I find with the Pocket, it does blow out the highlights if you have it set to 0. 50 over to 800 for the ISO. I don't really go any higher than 800 just because I do find there's a lot of noise after that. And I do have image adjustments on, so -2 in the sharpness and -2 in noise reduction. I do this just because I think it gets a better cinematic sort of look on the footage, and then it's easier for me to grade in DaVinci afterwards. Yeah, that's like the perfect frame basically right there that I want, because I want that tree in, and I want the horizon to be level with the thirds line down there. We'll give it a go with it being on the ground. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to do a sneaky little trick on my phone when I get back into the car, where I'll be able to connect to it and see what the frame looks like, and that way I know where to stop when I drive in. Because otherwise I'll have 0 idea, and that'll suck. All right, so I've set up the phone like this, so that way I can sort of see the frame. All right, here we go. So it'll be nice and slow, because I kind of just want it to capture me entering the frame. And I'll stop. Perfect. Now I'll do that one more time, but I'm just going to drive just out of frame, and I might stop on a slightly different angle. All right, so I'm out of frame. I'm going to go forward. And there. Okay, cool. So that's my first shot. Okay, so the next shot that I want to get is an angle where we see me open the door of the car. Now I'll probably do that a little bit closer, more of a medium shot instead of a wide angle, just to sort of bring us into the car to introduce myself as the character, I guess. All right, so we've got the frame here. I think, I don't know whether I want a low angle again. Light's a little bit weird. So that's the sun over up there is the sun, which is fine because that means we're still shooting on what is like the shadow side of the light source. It's just unfortunate about the time of day. It's not actually that bad. It probably looks better on an actual, like on like a computer, sort of looking at this tiny little screen. But yeah, we'll find out. I'll play around with the metering and see if I can get something that I like. Worst case, I can always stick this onto the tripod here that I've got to sort of get that height. Actually, how would that work? Yeah, that's about right, actually. I might stick it onto the tripod for height-wise. Get it that look. So I kind of want the car to be pretty much 2/3 of the frame. And then that way the door is basically nearly centered. However, there's still like this car and you sort of get a bit of the foreground. So I might actually change this a little bit, this angle, to be more like that. That way you get a little bit of the glimpse of the campfire in that. Right, I'm going to fine tune this on my phone. Everything is in focus, like everything is exposed. I can see all of the shadows nicely. I kind of want that dark anyway. You get the nice reflection on the car from the sky. The sky's not 100% blown out yet. The sun is like literally just here in the frame, if you can see that. So we'll be able to see that. But if I open the door, that's going to be the initial shot. So it'll be and then it's going to cut to the door swinging, and then I'm going to put my foot down like that in the frame. So yeah, we'll get that shot. So we can just watch this actually while we do this. Yeah. Do it again. Shut that all the way. Cool. All right, well, we got that shot. Okay, so I have got this rigged up now, so we'll be able to sort of see how this goes. You can sort of see the frame there. Basically, hang on. We'll be able to do this sort of motion and then come down like that. It'll sort of follow the door then, and then you'll open up to see my foot stepping out. So we'll sort of see how this goes. Wish me luck. This could be good or this could be bad. There's only really one way. I can actually see that needs an ND filter. Luckily enough, I have some NDs here. Yeah, I'll try the 32. Yeah, that should look really good. That's actually really nice exposed. Let's give this a go. So we're basically shot. Camera's against the door, cool. And try that one more time. One more time. Look a bit weird. Cool. So we'll see how that looked on video. Check over it, make sure it looks all fine. Hopefully it does. For a quick 1 second shot, I think it will work for what I was going for in my head. This is the hard part of trying to like film things as you go. I haven't got a shot list written down other than like the main key ones that I wanted to get, and everything else is sort of just on the fly while I'm here, what I can think of to help tie everything sort of together between those key shots. But we'll keep going. That's only 3 shots done, and I've been here for probably like 20 minutes now. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to smash out a bunch more. I do still need to set up the tent and everything like that before I lose daylight. Otherwise I'm buggered. So the next shot that I want to get is going to be of opening this door, taking some stuff out. Now you're going to see me reuse a bunch of key shots in the next few clips, but that's important to help carry that story along in order to get to the end result. Perfect. So yeah, let's keep moving along, and I'll get this shot where I put it on the ground, and then we'll get to setting stuff up and getting shots of that. All right, so I'm setting up the next shot where I'm just going to capture me putting the objects down in front of it. Just shut this door. Hello, puppy. So from here, basically I'll start this camera recording. Cool. And then I'll just pick these up and simply plop these into frame. Cool. So have a look at that. So that's pretty much exactly what I wanted. Now we can move on to getting the rest of the stuff out of this car and start setting up everything else. Get this poor little guy out. Hello, puppy. Get this guy out of the car. Yeah. Get you out of the car. Yeah, I know. We'll get you out. All right. Moving on to the next steps. Okay. So this is the next shot that I'm going to get. And it's basically just attaching the magic arm to the GoPro and then into the tent. And I'm going to extend the tent. Oh, well, okay. It just doesn't actually extend the way I thought it does. It extends upwards. It's not the angle I want. I need to go up there. I love using the magic arm. You can get some really unique angles that helps sort of like just show stuff in a different way that people can't usually see stuff, which is really cool. So here we go. Whoa, okay. Let's try that again. Whoa. One more time. Stand down here and I'm going to lift up. Oh God, it just doesn't want to click. Where's the click? There, okay. Okay, so we'll do that again. One smooth motion. Cool. Let's have a look what that look like. Perfect. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, well, we're going to keep setting up the tent. Just because, oh shit, it ripped the fly. Gonna make sure that door stays shut then during the night. Oh, check it out. That is a little cicada. You rarely see cicadas like this. You usually only find their bodies. And the fact that he's not making any noise is actually insane. That's actually cool. How cool is that? Incredible. I've never actually been landed on by a cicada. You can sort of see him right there. How sick. I'll just pop him down somewhere. All right, I'm going to check the rest of these things, make sure they're not caught on anything, which they're not, so that's good. I'm going to make sure this door faces out this way, because that's the way I want it to face in the morning and everything. I just need to get some pegs, put them down, peg it out, and we'll be happy, and we'll be all good. So this next shot is essentially just, me sitting in this chair. The Osmo Pocket is set up in the tent back there, and it's doing a frame effect where like you can see part of the wall of the tent, and then the other 2/3 of the frame are basically looking through the wall, looking through the door of that tent, and you can see me and the fire in the background, which is pretty cool. It's actually excellent. The dog's sitting perfectly right now as well, so I'm just going to get the shot real quick. Excellent. So I think I've got the shot. But yeah, ultimately the next shot I need to get is a little bit later on in the day. I'll probably have a little bit of an eat. I didn't get lunch at all today, so should be good to have some food. Probably feed the baby as well, the little dog, and then continue filming. Well, I'm setting up for cooking. Having burgers. Good dinner. This is impossible. I had a knife, but I put it back in the car, and I was like too stubborn to go get it. However, oh, no, I'm good. I'm good. Just bent my tongs. That's okay. Hey, I know you can smell the meat, can't you? Yeah. No. I know you can. That's why you've come straight here. I'm going to cook these, cook 2 different patties. See how we go. Can't tell. Now we just let this cook. And I'll flip them when I need to. Oh, and I've also got a nice cold drink. Should think about the bottle opener in here. Yeah, I do. Perfect. This is the life. Let's just see what I'm seeing. Got this drink and this view. And the little doggy walking around, having a sniff. But yeah, not too bad, if I don't say so myself. And now we wait until a little bit darker, and I'll film the next bit. Well, that was basically the last shot I needed, which was essentially the light of the fire, like this, reflecting off of my skin, giving you the light for the final afternoon. Yeah, before that you saw a wider angle shot to sort of like tie everything up with like location wise, how I've set up, things like that. So like all of the little bits and pieces of everything you've seen up until this point, and then you saw like the final shot, which is the fire going, me just sitting here with the dog and chilling, and that's pretty much it. So those were the key shots that you had to get. It's pretty flexible when you're out trying to like film something like this, what you want to do. Like, just film whatever you think looks good realistically, and then try to like create like a narrative or like tell like a story that you want to like visually show, and plan that out. So for me, it was a guy goes camping with his dog and sets up his tent, enjoys sitting by the fire. Basically, is the story. Like it's nothing crazy. It doesn't have to be like an amazing story. Like when it's something like this, where you're just practicing a couple sequences and tying them together. And yeah, it's pretty much what I've learned from all of the different videos I was watching. Was yeah, you don't have to stress so hard about how long it is, how good of a story it is, as long as there's a way to give context to what the story is. Generally, people will understand what you're trying to portray. And if they don't, if you are watching it back and you literally have no idea what the story is either, or like you show it to like a friend and you're like, what was this about? Then you've probably like, missed the mark. But you never know. Just trial and error. Give it a go. Give it a crack. Let me know what you guys thought of my particular shots. Granted, I'm limited using the small little cameras. These are excellent cameras, but because I have fixed focal lengths, you can only get certain shots. Like you can't get like crazy macro things and so on and so forth with them. But you can do your best, and that's what I've tried to do today. And now it's getting a bit dark, so I've got this camera now in like super night mode, which bumps the ISO up to like 512,000 or something like that. So nearly over 500,000 ISO, which is insane. So yeah, probably very grainy for me to edit later on. I have no idea. Time will tell. But yeah, so I'm going to enjoy the rest of the night, and then I'll, if I think of anything over the night, I'll recap in the morning. Go, go in. Go. Oh dear. Well, it's morning. Oh wow. Moon's still up. Everything. It's very pretty. Such a pretty place. We survived. Oh dear. So now that it's morning, I can think through the shots that I've got. I'm pretty sure I've got everything I wanted to get, at least for the key shots. There's definitely a couple shots that I think aren't going to turn out 100%. And maybe there might be like a little bit of a gap between when I first sort of started shooting to then like the end. But, you know, you just got to work with what you've got. I did have very little light yesterday, so I only had like an hour and a half maybe before the sun really went over the hill. Not even that, I think it was like an hour, and then the sun really went over the hill. Then it started to get pretty dark, and it made it difficult to get sort of shots. But that's one of those things, like it's part of the learnings, and that's why you just have to come out and practice and get some shots and do what you want to do. Like come up with an idea, go out, try and execute it, see what didn't work, and then try to do better next time. So like next time, definitely I need to try and get to a place earlier. I did try to get here when I was allowed to get here. Our check-in was at 1, but like you were allowed to come to the site at 1, but unfortunately the traffic really stuffed me up there. I left home at 12, didn't get here until like 4 or 3:30 or something. So it was like, yeah, horrible, terrible traffic. Yeah, now I'm going to take this dog for a little bit of a walk, get him to go to the toilet, and then head home, do the edit, and you'll see what the edit looks like.